Hi, I'm Todd Mandel. I'm here today with Zach and Amy. They're going to introduce themselves in a minute, and we have a project we'd like to pitch that we think would be a great opportunity for the company in the North Loop area of Minneapolis. Um, and here's the other two team members.
Hi, I'm Amy Staudinger. I am going to talk a little bit about our proposed project and also the master plan for the North Loop.
Hi, my name is Zach Sullivan. I'm going to discuss the demographics of the North Loop.
All right, with that, we'll get into the project.
We're pulling up a PowerPoint to go through some slides, but I can start talking about the project a little bit. The name of the project is Goldy Flats. It's going to be a mixed-use development, including high-end apartments and also some retail space. Proposed 192 units of high-end apartments, including some 2 bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms. We have also included some, we're targeting the 20 to 40-year-old professionals, and this is also going to be a lead project. Where some of the amenities we're going to include, you can see concierge, pool and fitness, co-working spaces to attract the entrepreneur, laundry, decks, patios, community and social areas, open air garden, and green roof. We'll talk about how those fit in with the master plan later. We also have transit passes and transit-oriented development. In the retail portion, we've already secured an Aveda day spa along with a high-end farm-to-table restaurant, and we're also targeting some other specialty curated clothing type stores and local stores to fit the demographic.
All right, so moving on to the North Loop demographics. So the population is just under 6,000 and it's growing. The median household income for those residents is around $93,000, with the average household net worth being around $543,000. So you can see on the graphics to the right that the median household income and the average household net worth are both well in excess of the median and average, respectively, for Minneapolis and Minnesota. So here's an age distribution by median age for the North Loop. And as Amy touched on earlier, our target market is around the 20 to 40-year-old range. And this can clearly show that this is obviously who the target market is supposed to be, as more than 50% of the distribution lies within the 20 to 29 and 30 to 39 age distributions. So renting has become a preferred method for housing for Gen Y and Gen Z, and increasingly these Gen Y and Gen Z renters are looking for new build luxury apartments, especially in historic areas of the city. And we think as unemployment returns to a normalized level, both Gen Y and Z will capture these benefits in increased employment and have an increase in income to pay for luxury rentals. So in our analysis, we looked at many different residential and commercial mixed-use buildings that have been developed in the North Loop region, including Ellis Warehouse, which is pictured here, and a handful of other luxury comparable apartments to the one we're proposing.
The city of Minneapolis in 2003 adopted a master plan to help guide the development and growth in Minneapolis, and our proposed project meets or exceeds a lot of those guidelines that the city has proposed. That includes public transportation and pedestrian-friendly areas. We're also, the green roof provides some sustainability and environmentally friendly construction. Our lead building meets the sustainable goal of the city, and we are also hitting the niche goals of residential space and retail. And then the development guidelines that are especially important: the rehabbed buildings, urban street frontage, parking, underground parking so it isn't visible, prominent front entrances and abundant window glass, highlighting the retail. We face the principal face of the building faces the street. We have public sidewalks, and then we have ground floor views in and out of the building. The next slide shows how the North Loop is broken into districts, and we fall right in the middle of the warehouse residential and old warehouse district, as well as right in the heart of the mixed use area adjacent to the commercial. So again, proposed project fits in well with the city master plan.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the financials of the project. Obviously, if a project doesn't make money, it's not going to work. That's a strong project financially. The total development cost is just north of $55 million. Within that $55 million is an immediate takeout profit for the development company of $7 million. None of that is deferred, either fee or loan of the project. So we'll look at the costs by using our in-house architects as well as in-house engineering. Also, in the goal is to use some common mechanicals that we've used elsewhere for other projects. It should help reduce our O&M costs as well, based on familiarity by our property management arm to know how to run the project and know the mechanicals. Big savings comes from the transit-oriented development nature of the project. We're going to maximize our proximity to a light rail station and a transit hub. That allows us to have less underground parking. Underground parking is the most expensive parking, as we all know, and so the less we can do, the better. At stabilized NOI, it's going to bring in about $5.6 million a year on $2.5 million expenses, and so it has a very strong NOI of about $3 million with a 5% cap rate that comes out to a value of about $56 million. We're going to need about a $40 million construction loan, which will pair up with $8 million of TIF and $6 million of equity. It's that equity raise that we need help from the joint venture folks to make happen. We'll take out that construction loan with a $34 million first mortgage. It's just a straight-up bullet mortgage, 30-year amortization, 5%, 5-year term. Very strong debt coverage ratio of 1.36. So for every dollar of debt, we have $1.36 to pay for it. The commercial is a little tricky sometimes in the market, and so we've gone to a local community development corporation and been able to secure a lending letter on about $6.7 million to do the commercial. They've agreed to take it as mezzanine debt. They've agreed to take second position. Even with that, the DCR is still 1.14, which is also strong. What makes the project pretty more viable is an $8 million TIF grant from the city. We think it's very likely to get that. That TIF is important because it raises our internal rate of return from about 10% to 17%. Also reduces the equity ask. And that the current taxes the property puts off is about $18,000 to $20,000 a year, and so our project will put off north of $1 million a year, which means the TIF will be paid back or recovered, I should say, within 8 to 9 years' time, which is well within the city's time frames for recovering TIF. We think it's a viable project. We think it would be a great addition to the agency's portfolio as well as to the city. And we really are excited about the chance to make something happen within this very exciting upcoming area of Minneapolis. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.